Udah, udah, nah, ya. Oke.
Ya,
Good afternoon. Selamat siang, Bapak, Ibu, dan rekan-rekan semua. Selamat datang di acara obrolan Heritage ke-86, edisi bulan November 2024. Narasumber OHA hari ini, Mr. Dao Hai Nam dengan moderator Ibu Kusumaningdyah akan bawakan materi mengenai pedesaan tradisional di pinggiran kota Hanoi. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 86th edition of Obrolan Heritage. Today we will have Mr. Nam from Vietnam as our speaker and Ms. Kusumaningdyah from Universitas Sebelas Maret, 11 Maret as our moderator. The topic in today's talk will be recognition of traditional village of the suburb of Hanoi City.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, first of all, Uh, Obrolan Heritage at a Glance is an online informal forum initiated by PDA together with Badan Pelestarian IAI Nasional since 2016. Started from 2020 up until now, also partnered with Arsitektur major of Universitas Trisakti for online access. Um, Berikut beberapa peraturan yang berlaku pada 2 jam ke depan. Here's the rules for Obrolan Heritage. First, make sure to enter Zoom via the link sent to each email to show your profile name match to what was registered. The presence will be automatically registered. Second, microphone will be in silent mode. Third, you can send question in the chat. And lastly, we will be taking pictures at the end of forum. So make sure to open your camera. This is here is the rundown of Obrolan Heritage 86. The next uh, will be CV from the speaker and moderator. First is our speaker, Dao Hai Nam, is a lecturer at Hanoi University of Civil Engineering or HUCH, Vietnam, and Vice Director of Urban Development Training and Research Center. He is a key member of the Disaster and Development Research Group in the Department of Planning, Faculty of Architecture and Planning. He is a national and emerging international researcher in the field of urban planning and resilience and conduct his activities across areas related to human vulnerability and urban culture. He takes part in and leads a lot of projects relating to urban development and conservation. Moderator kita hari ini adalah Ibu Kusumaningdyah yang akrab dipanggil dengan nama Ruli, adalah dosen senior di jurusan Arsitektur Fakultas Teknik Universitas Sebelas Maret Surakarta, Jawa Tengah, Indonesia. Menyelesaikan gelar PhD di Departemen Arsitektur dan Desain Perkotaan, Department of Architecture and Urban Design, Faculty of Human Environment Studies, Kyushu University, Japan. Minat penelitiannya meliputi desain sosial, arsitektur konservasi, dan masalah kampung kota. Saat ini ia juga menjabat sebagai Kepala Laboratorium Desain dan Konservasi Perkotaan Pedesaan UR di Silebo, serta Kepala Pusat Studi Jepang PSJ, LPPM UNS. Terlibat sebagai anggota aktif sebagai tim ahli warisan budaya di Dinas Kebudayaan Kota Surakarta dan anggota di Komite Kota Kreatif di Bappedik Kota Surabaya, serta menjadi tim ahli di Kemenparekraf hingga saat ini. Berikut, next I will hand the floor to the moderator, kepada Ibu Ruli, kami persilakan.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Come on, Nam. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Obrolan Heritage 86. And today we are thrilled to bring you an enriching session titled Recognition of Value in Traditional Village of Hanoi. This is a special opportunity to explore the rich cultural heritage and enduring tradition of Hanoi, Vietnam, historical through the lens of value recognition and preservation. And sure, we are honored to have as an esteemed speaker, Mr. Ha Nam Dao from Hanoi University of Civil Engineering, Huge, Vietnam. With his deep expertise and passion for the cultural heritage, Mr. Nam will guide us through the intricate layers of Hanoi traditional village, shedding light on their significance, unique characteristic, and the role they play in today's evolving society. So I hope this event is not just opportunity to listen, but also to engage, exchange perspective, and reflect on how we, as a global community in Southeast Asia, can learn from and contribute to the preservation and cultural heritage and its many forms. So yeah, Achanam as our best friends, best friend from since 2015, and now we have an biennial event for the workshop design conservation every 2 years. And in the next years, we will held in Indonesia, Surakarta, Universitas Sebelas Maret. Yeah, sure, we will meet again at Chanam in Indonesia. So without further ado, let us warmly welcome Achanam as he shared his insight on this fascinating topic. Have a please, Achanam, for floors for you. We will have 2 hours, around 2 hours. So yes, have a please, Achanam.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ruli. Good afternoon, researcher, friends, lecturer, and everyone who online to join the presentation, recognition of the value in traditional village of the suburb area of Hanoi City. This is my very big opportunity for me to join and share our study to all the people who concerned about the conservation. Actually, my main major is urban planning, and now I am a lecturer in Hanoi University of Civil Engineering. Besides the lecturing in the university, I also run and lead the private company, but it's also have very well close to the university and Vietnamese Association of Architects. And actually, at this time, I am a practical architect, but also I still join the so many conservation activity and study in university. And this is my big chance to share all of you about our study during around 10 years. But I just pick up some interesting issue that Vietnam and Hanoi face with the urban development. I do not think that is the how to say the regional issue. It means that it look the same problem like the regional country around Vietnam. But I think that we can share the experience in village conservation and recognize the values of the traditional village. I used to come to some the traditional village in Thailand, in Malay, but not Indonesia. And I feel that the preservation activity is very good. But in Vietnam, we have to face with so many problems and challenge from the urbanization. So this is a chance for me to share to all of you the thing. And please welcome to give your comment, and we can open mind and share the experience in this area. Okay, so now can I share the presentation?
Yeah, sure. Have a please.
Okay. So traditional village is play important role and it shape the ideology and the have the well relationship between the city and the village, and the traditional village have the important role to shape the infrastructure in the urbanized area in Hanoi. The content of the presentation divided into three parts. The first one, I would like to recognize the village structure and tangible and intangible value in a traditional village. The second one, I will show the existing pressure from urbanization to traditional villages. And the last one, I will share our study about the solution of conservation and development in Hanoi. So as you may know, I would like to review very quickly about the history of Hanoi. Hanoi is the capital of Vietnam, and it's located in the north of Vietnam, and it had the 8.5 million population. And Hanoi have the very big area, and it ranked 17 biggest capital in the world. And Hanoi expanded the administrative boundary in 2008 from in 5 times. So as you see on the map, the operating region is the area of Hanoi in the past, and in 2008 it's expanded and covered 1,000 village in the area. And in the past, Hanoi just have the very simple structure like the other city in the world. It had the citadel that's close next to the river, and Hanoi Old Quarter. It is a very big market, and this market close to the existence of the village that located in the surrounding area. So you can see on the map, the red line is the citadel, and the yellow line is the Hanoi Old Quarter. That's close to Hồng River. Play the transportation to transport the product from the village to the city. And as you see, Hanoi experienced some main period by the colonial. So Hanoi is mixed with the architecture of French colonial and the traditional architecture. As you see on the right map, you can see that there are so many villages that located surrounding the center, and all the villages nowadays can become urbanized village at the urbanization of Hanoi in the rapidly. And there are some picture in the past from 1925 to 1950. We can see that the structure of Hanoi is based on the French colonial, and this is the mixed architecture between the French colonial to the traditional architecture. And we can see that the village surrounding Hanoi center, it is the traditional village, and it located independently, surrounded by the bamboo fence and the housing. But each village had its own craft or had its own livelihood, not only the agriculture. And it is the very, how to say, it is a very close, independent community for each village, and it have the connection between the village to the city. And in this picture, you can see that this is the pagoda. It's located next to the river, and this is one of the important building of the village. Nowadays, Hanoi have more than 1,000 craft villages and more than 300 traditional craft villages recognized by the government. It means that more than 300 villages recognized by the government. It means that it can be in the conserve of the government in the aspect of livelihood, structure, and architecture. But the rest of the village is affected by the urbanization, and it almost of them become to the urban area. And as I said about the important role of the village to the city, because each village have its own livelihood. Like the pottery is a very famous village named Panjang, located in the center of Hanoi, and it attracts a lot of tourists. Or non-village, or puppet village, or incense village, noodle village. So it's very diverse city in the livelihood and career for each village. Or the baskery. So the village, as the definition of Professor Phạm Hùng Cường, who take so many research about the village of Vietnam, it is the social cell of Vietnamese people, and it's mainly populated by neighboring relationships, living together in the defined geographic area, including a plot of land for housing and a land for farming, a collection of household produce and live independently. The importance of the village is the relationship, because relationship in the village divided into some aspect, like the blooding, because some village had 1,000 years old, and it's the place for the generation, for the next generation during the year. And some of the like age of the village have the strong voice if they can give the very strong comment and give the important decision of the village. And the village relationship that also refer to the neighboring relationship. The neighboring relationship that refer to the sub-village, because some of the village divided into the sub-village, and in the sub-village people well know each other, and under sub-village is the hamlet and the alleys. It means that the people living in the same sub-village can know well and can support each other a lot rather than other. And in some villages, they have the association of handicraft, association of farming, or craft association. And villages belong to the livelihood. Some village had its own, like I said, about the handicraft and the product of the village that often import, and it's create the very well connection to the city, because they bring the product from the village surrounding Hanoi to the Hanoi quarter, and it shaped the economic activity between the village and the city. And this is the structure of, I would like to recognize the structure of the traditional village in Hanoi, because the village is a cell, independent cell of Hanoi, and it often have the main axis that connect to the main road. The village often surrounded by the bamboo fence. The bamboo fence play the security for the village, and each village had 1 to 2 gates. And in the center of the village is have the community house that called Ding. This is this place organize the important activity of the village, and in the village have the small lane that close to the agriculture land surrounded. So in each village, it have some main factor, and one of the most important building is a ding. It's a community house, and it often recognized as the conservation area, but not for other like the gate, the well, or the old house, or the land. So the conservation of the village is often focused on the community building. And in this map, it shows the example of one of the important and famous village located in the north of Hanoi. As you see that the main road here, and it's divided into the sub-village and the lane. So it close and how to say it have the well connection in the following the main assets. There are some factors that create the atmosphere and the structure of village, like the gate of the village, the tree, the bamboo fan, ding or den, miếu, is it the pagoda or the place for ancestor. And village square or the bridge of the village is also the factor that urban conservation concern. And ding is often the place that village girl organize the village festival. I just go quickly about the value, tangible value and intangible value of the village. And nowadays, village have to face with the changes, especially in the suburbs area of Hanoi, because the urbanization. One of the main problem, it is all of the project that organized in Hanoi based on the master plan from top down approach, with the top down approach, like we have general plan, zoning plan, and detailed plan. As you see on the map, it is the general plan of Hanoi since 2009, and this is offer the strategy for the zoning plan. And zoning plan, it also bring a lot of requirement for the detailed plan. And as you see that the urban area is open to all the direction from the north to the south and to the west, and it's cover 1,000 villages in this area, and it's changed a lot. It's not only changed the agricultural land to the urban development, but also inside the village is also changed. I will explain more in the next slide. So as you see, this map, it is the zoning plan. The gray color, this is the village, and the village is the new urban area, and the village have no opportunity to preserve or keep or remain the value, the tangible value, like the gate of the village or the buffer zone of bamboo fence or the other thing of the village. And it's often have the pressure from the new urban area. And there are more and more new urban area during 20 years in Vietnam since 1990. And the population in Hanoi is also increased, and it's attract a lot of people from the agriculture land to the city to find the job, and it's affect to the livelihood, traditional livelihood, and traditional career in the village. And there are a lot of village in traditional village in surrounded in the place that's surrounded around Hanoi. There is no younger people. It's also there are also a lot of people that do nothing in the village. So like you see that in the urban area, always have the tent to open to the other side, and all the village surrounded the urban area is become to the urban village, and the agriculture land is also become to the urban area. And one of the bad issue that is when the living demand getting high, but the quality of the life is low. And there are some Google Maps that show the change rapidly of the village in Hanoi. As you see, during around 15 to 20 years, and all of the agriculture land become to the new urban area. And the buffer zone, we have no buffer zone, and all the very small land get to be changed to the new urban, and no space for the public area. Or in this picture, you can see also the very quick change of that. And one of the problem that all the living condition inside of the village is very low, because in the past the plot of the land is much more bigger, but due to the new law of new land law, the land just get more than 20 square meter can be allowed to get the certificate. So the big land is divided into the small land for the new people, for newcomer to come to the village. So it changed not only the structure of the village, but also the structure of the culture in the village. And I would like to introduce some of our study. We choose some 5 villages surrounded the Hanoi area to take the study of changing in the morphology from the different scale, like in the planning scale, in the small scale, like detail of each houses and the public building in the village. So we take the survey of Vạn Phúc village. Is the still very famous film village and attract a lot of people here. If you have the opportunity to visit Hanoi, it is very close, around 20 kilometers from the center of Hanoi, to enjoy the Vạn Phúc village. Bát village is also the craft village. Is very famous for the tourists to experience the pottery product here. And Ngọc Chục and Vọng village is also very urbanized. Have the experience the rapid urbanization in Hanoi. So we have the preparation about the math in 1926, the math in 2006 and 2018. So and we experience about the new urban area that's close to the main road, and it's become rapidly to the other area, and all the infrastructure is also extend to serve the urbanization. The structure of the building and the structure of the infrastructure is how to say, it have to match with the structure of the village, but you can see that it is not suitable between the structure of the new urban area to the village, because the big road can come to the very narrow road with no good connection. And we can see that people develop every land for the residential area, for the economic development. Or it is the same to the Vọng village, when you can see that the village have no chance to preserve the other factor, like the gate of the village, or the other factor that show the traditional structure of the village. Or we also evaluate the density of each public building in the village, and we prepare the each plot of housing during 10 years. So it means that in 2008 in Vạn Phúc village, the plot of land is quite very big, and then it divided into 2 land or 3 and very smaller land with no regulation of construction. So the connection between the main road to the narrow is very difficult, and in several years ago, there are a lot of problems that raised in the very narrow land, like the fire, or the people cannot escape from the fire, and many problems that relate to the living condition in the old village. And this graph show the changes in livelihood in each village. So we can see that people at home increase, and people do not work agriculture, and the craft also reduce, and it will be reduced in the future if we do not have any solution for the maintain or keep the traditional career for the people in the village. And this is the other study of preserve the traditional village in Vietnam, because there are so many urban areas. It's not only in Hanoi. We also take the research, and we would like to take the survey of the town. This is the town, and the center of the town surrounded by some small village. And in each small village located in the historical area that's close to the Ninh Bình, with very beautiful landscape, and it have the historic of the one of the important dynasty in the past. And in this area have the opportunity to develop, and there are some big investors that capture the land to the new urban area, and they are focused on the some of the land that close to the village a lot. So we take the survey, and we would like to try to maintain all the agricultural land to become the garden in the future, like the urban farming. So it means that we have to recognize the importance of the boundary in each village, and we recognize this should become the buffer zone, and it's become the land for public space and the farming garden in the future. And it should be the gardening, and this can be create the connection between the farming. And in each village, we would like to recognize some main main factor that create the atmosphere and create the traditional landscape of the village. For example, this is the gate of each house, the land, and some agricultural landscape, or the fan and the tree, or the agricultural infrastructure. And we give the command and maintain the landscape of the agriculture land. We also propose how to preserve the each factor, important factor of each village that create the buffer zone to protect the village and create the connection between traditional village to the new urban area, and preserve the important building and then the other thing of the village. Yes, this is some study that we would like to put more urban garden for each house in the village. For the strategy in planning and urban design, like I said, because in Vietnam, we control the planning from top down by master plan, general plan, zoning plan, and detailed plan. And the conservation for the village often have no choice to choose the direction in the future, or to what we will keep, or what is the value of the village. And it often priority for the urban area. So it means that we propose 3 strategies for the planning and urban design. First of all, is a control strict green space that maintain, and it would help to form the urban garden, and not allowing.
Sorry. Screens change, because we still only can see the a map only.
Oh,
Are
really?
you? Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can see, but it's still on the block plan, and then the
Oh, really?
axon. Probably you already moved to the other screens, but we didn't see it move.
Oh, okay. So can you see that?
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay. This is one of the result of our study. We give the three strategy for the general town planning to preserve the traditional village. First of all, that you because the town have the opportunity for urban development, but they have to control strictly the green spaces that cover around the village. And it helps to develop the urban garden and not allow the unsuitable small-scale clouded project. So, and should enhance the connection between the old and new urban area. And the second thing, we would like to improve the rural landscape by the preserving the typical landscape value like the road, the alley, the gate, the traditional well in the village. It is very important to create the how to say the traditional village atmosphere and propose the guideline for house design and control the density. Because if we do not control the density, each block, like the very big block, will divided into a very small block, and it can, how to say, it can harm the urban structure in the future. But it's not like the Thailand village or in Malaysia. I think that they still keep very good structure of the village, but not in Hanoi. And the last picture of my presentation is the gate maintained from the village. And there are a lot of things like this surrounding Hanoi. And I think that we can have the other way to preserve tangible and intangible value of traditional village. And it's also play important role to affect to the urban lifestyle in the new urban area. Thank you for your listening.
Yeah, come on, Achan Nam, for the very interesting presentations. Yeah, about the
Thank you.
rural skip area that it's really contained for the heritage and then the assets. Yeah. Yeah, before I give to the audience time for questions, I would like also to have a questions. I would ask the question for Achan Nam regarding this issue. Well, in
Okay.
Indonesia also we have the same problem to conserve the rural site area, particularly that has a value of heritage, and therefore, according to you that you're already doing this research and then the experience, what are the biggest challenges actually in conservations, the cultural and architecture of traditional village in Hanoi?
Thank you for Ajahn Ruli about your question. I think that one of the biggest challenge for conservation of the village in Hanoi is the real estate development, because the real estate development that often, how to say, control how the people use the land. And when the authority and the small developer recognize the benefit from very small land, and they create a very small project, and it capture the it will be capture the agriculture land, and some of the land have no suitable for urban development, and the traditional village will be blocked by the land. You know what I mean? And it will be have uh, create a very low quality project for the new urban area, like you see on some picture like this.
Ah,
Yes, there are a lot of new urban area like you see like this, and it is one of the 100 example in Hanoi. And this is the one thing. And the second thing, that the density of the village is increased more and more. And I think that is not suitable for the new development in the developing country.
okay, interesting. Well, actually, this is the same. It happens in Surakarta and surroundings, and I think it's also face the same area too. Then yeah, we're coming to the other questions that we can find in the meeting chats. Yes, we have here Bloon that joined in the YouTube. Yeah, Bloon is the interns from Rotterdam University in at the UNS. She would like to ask you, Achanam, about
Okay.
how can traditional architectural elements from the village around Hanoi be included in the modern urban development without losing their cultural value?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
From Plun, how can traditional architectural elements from the
Uh-huh.
village around
Uh-huh.
Hanoi be included in modern urban development without losing their cultural value?
Uh-huh. They're very interesting and question. And it's also our mission for the urban conservation. Because the village, like I said, play important role in the city, especially in Hanoi, because it's a lively village. Some village had its own career and livelihood, and when they are affected by the urban development, some of the element of the village, like the gate, the tree, the very old tree, the bamboo fan, or the bridge, and some element, especially some of the public building, important building lighting, the public space very important, also affected by the new construction area. So the government have to raise the awareness by the research, and give the how to say, give the element belong to the important thing to preserve for the planning detail planning, because detail planning and zoning plan in Vietnam, it has the very strong legal effect to the construction project. And if the construction project affect to the traditional village, it should be banned, or it should be propose the suitable spaces organization to preserve the valuable element of the village.
Okay, that's
I'm not sure that is same to village in Indonesia. I never been in Indonesia,
yeah,
but
next year.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think we have a different things, but still some of part kind of like the traditional Javanese architecture. Yeah, we should keep it. Yeah, and this is also the continues with the question from Pak Hadi Haryanto. Pak Hadi, apakah mau ini menanyakan sendiri atau saya izin bacakan? So there is one question from Pak Adi Harfianto from
Izin bacakan aja, Bu.
Oh, siap. Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Adi Haryanto is a professional architect that joined in these events. He would like to ask the question, is the architectural of Hanoi, it's influenced a lot from the Chinese cultures? So because this is same along with the last previous questions.
Yes, architecture in Hanoi is also affected by the Chinese, especially in Hanoi Quarter, because in the past we also have a lot of how to say the Chinese people come to Hanoi for the business activity, and they bring cultural and architectural style to Hanoi Quarter. And Hanoi Quarter, like shop, there are some shop house, and we also remain some of the how to say pagoda that follow the Chinese architectural style in Hanoi. Still have.
Yeah. And also they're living on the big wall, instead of the very big fence, or we call it.
Yes.
Okay, it is nice and interesting.
And
then sorry.
And sorry, I just have one analysis for the particular architecture in Hanoi, because all of the experts in architecture in Vietnam try to find what is the particular and what is the characteristic of the Vietnamese architectural style. And I think one of the characteristic of the Vietnamese architectural style that's close to the architecture of the village, because the architecture of the traditional village that close to nature, that how people live in the house, that close to the nature, close to the agricultural land and agricultural activity, and the religious, like religious building like Dinh or pagoda is also refer to the human scale and traditional architecture of Vietnam.
Okay, that's great. Semoga bisa dipahami Pak Adi. Kita lanjut untuk pertanyaan berikutnya ya. So we have another questions, Mr. Nam, in terms of URDC Labo, from Thomas, that they are watching in YouTube also. From Thomas, he would like to ask you, how can the preservation of traditional heritage in the suburbs of Hanoi serve as a model for sustainable urban development in other parts of Southeast Asia? So what do you think about this, Achanam?
Sorry, can you repeat, because my connection is not good?
Okay. How can the preservation of traditional heritage in the suburb of Hanoi, it can be served as a model for sustainable urban development in other parts of Southeast Asia? Is there any success story that we can also here in Indonesia applied it?
In comparison to the other country, is this what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some conservation project in the suburbs of Hanoi. One of the famous village, like I said in the slide, called Đường Lâm village. This one, and this is the gate of Đường Lâm. It is a very famous, one of the most famous village that still remain the structure, the architecture, and the atmosphere of the traditional village. and the government gives the certificate to preserve this village and give some strategy to develop tourism. But there are so many problems raised during the preservation activity, because people living in the village cannot change the house. They cannot build or change the house, and it's when, if they want to design and if they want to construct anything in their own private land, they have to get the permit from the government, and it's raised a lot of confused when people live, and some of the people that they do not want to recognize by the ancient village in the conservation aspect. So I think that for traditional village and valuable village in Vietnam, the conservation activities still have so many difficulties. But in Malaysia, like I went Malaysia 2 weeks ago. We enjoyed the atmosphere in Kampung village that's close next to the very important area of World Heritage by UNESCO, Melaka. This is a kampung, and I think they have very good preservation in maintain the structure of the village, and they organize very good for the tourists to enjoy the atmosphere of the village. And I also think that for the village, one of the important things that the traditional village can survive and can develop in the future, they should be supported or funding by the government to preserve the element of the village, and they also have to share the benefit from the tourism, because there are so many valuable traditional village have their own opportunity to develop the craft, handicraft, or livelihood, and it attracts a lot of tourists to come and enjoy and experience the atmosphere of the village, and the village can benefit from it. So the funding from so many sources can use to maintain and can use to preserve the valuable village elements, like the gate, like the community space, like the house, or anything. And the other thing for the private house, old private house have valuable architectural style. If they have to change, if they need to redevelop for more convenient in the life, the government should have the guideline in design for them and support them money or anything to keep and to conserve the architecture of the village. And each village can survive if they can earn money from traditional craft, handicraft, or livelihood, or they get the funding from the other source. Yes, thank you.
So then, yeah, we continue with the question because it will be related to protect this all the value of in the rural or suburb area.
Mhm.
And coming with the one question from Ibu Ria, I will read for you.
Okay.
Is there any remind of attribute of the heritage cultural landscape of the rural? Is there any policy also for regulation to protect this heritage cultural landscape? For instance, the rural guidelines or special planning regulations that coming from the governments, or probably it's already become the World Heritage UNESCO list probably in Vietnam.
No, we do not have any World Heritage by
Okay.
UNESCO for the village, but the village recognized like a conserved area only have maybe in Vietnam, as I remember, like Đường Lâm, they have the requirement to preserve all the structure of the village. It means that the road, the tree, the land, the houses, but for the other village, the government just give the preserve for the important building like đình. It's the public building. If they have the valuable architecture and is have the very long history of the development.
Yeah, I see. So then,
Yeah.
from the local government, are they have it from the Hanoi governments for the policy to keep this one and not to remove it or keep the gate, keep the landscape?
No. We do not have any regulation for this. If
Okay.
we do not have. So we have the last 2 years we have the study belong to the Ministry of as I remember, it's the Ministry of Construction that we evaluate the more than 20 village.
Interesting.
20 village in the delta of Hồng River. There are so many traditional village, and we evaluate in each element of the village that have the valuable to the conservation activity, like the gate, the fan, bamboo fan, the tree, and so many things.
Ah, interesting. Yes.
Yes. But
If it is
we do not have the policy to protect the element of the village.
and
Only ding, some kind of this building, have
the
the regulation to preserve. But gate, no.
yeah, also the landscaping. And how about
Yeah.
the community itself, Achanam? Are they also protective or do the good movement to keep their identification identity of the rural area, the community?
Yes, it depends on each village because some village they have to face with the difficulty from the urbanization, and when the urbanization come and change the agriculture land, some of the villagers they remove from the house and they sell their land, or they divided the land into the very smaller and sell to other people. So other people come and they change the identity of the village. And there are so many problems of the urbanized village in Hanoi. And I do not think that they have the original cultural principle in the suburbs village in Hanoi. They're
Okay.
difficult to maintain some kind of this. But I think that in their soul, they still, the villager, they really want to maintain, and they also have the proud of where they live and where they was born in the future. Because in some village in Hanoi have their very long history, maybe 1,000 years.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, then we're coming with the next question. Oh, you have a lot of questions ya. From Pak Herman Sebastian dari Trisakti. Apakah Bapak ada di sini? Jika berkenan, silakan untuk menanyakan langsung Pak Herman Sebastian. Oke. Ya, silakan Pak Herman.
Oh yeah, thank you, sir, for the presentation.
Thank you.
My name Herman. Yeah. I just want some a question about how can we preserve the authenticity of intangible heritage like traditional lifestyles, cultural value, rituals, or celebrations across generations with I saw with modern education or advanced technology. Is it realistic to try to keep villagers living in their original way of life? Or maybe should we isolate the village to protect its tradition from outside influences? For example, how do we balance preserving traditional farming lifestyles if younger generation prefer laptops or iPhone over plows or tractors? What you suggest?
It's very interesting question. I think that if we can maintain the structure or conserve the structure or some kind of particular spaces of the traditional village, it can raise and maintain the intangible value like the festival or in traditional village in Vietnam. It have also the lineage of blooding, and the people always refer their own hometown to the village, and whenever they go anywhere in the important day, they come back to village and they enjoy the atmosphere and they enjoy the event of the village like the festival. And I think that for intangible culture and intangible value can be maintained by the next generation if the government have the policy to protect the tangible or valuable spaces in the traditional village. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I hope it is satisfied Pak Herman. And I think because the origin is, the cultures in Vietnam still quite solid, so everybody still with the festival every once in a year for a couple of times, then they will going back to their hometown. Okay, still have we some of questions in the meeting chat of Zoom. We have from Zulfikar Trianda. Pak Zulfikar, apakah berkeinginan untuk menanyakan sendiri? Silahkan Bapak untuk open mic. Pak Zulfikar. So, have a please Pak Zulfikar to open mic to give the questions going to Bapak Nam. Or So I think I can read for you, Acha Nam. What is the value of the comparison of green space layouts in Hanoi? Are there local traditions that regulate these spatial layouts for the landscape?
For the landscape, like green space?
We see the axes are lined in the green space layout. Yes, like this one. Are there local traditions that regulate this spatial layout?
I don't understand. Spatial layout.
Layout, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there local traditions that regulate these spatial layouts? Why they should surroundings the village? Probably what is the reasons for this arrangement?
The green space surrounding the village in Vietnam have the meaningful. It's very meaningful because it protects the village to outside. Because it often the villager often plant the very thick bamboo, and each village have its own and it's live independently to the other village. So the buffer zone, the bamboo fan, it's like the how to say, it's like the something protect the village to outside, and when the village attacked uh, by the people from the other or from the outside, it's also belong to the tool to how to say, to create the weapon for the other. And in the new urban area, when they cover on the land, on the agricultural land surrounding the village, so the bamboo fan is also disappear. There are a few of the village in Hanoi can maintain the bamboo fan nowadays, but all of the green land have no regulation to preserve, like you see on the map, like the zoning plan, and all of the agricultural land, when they cover by the yellow region, is the new urban area, and all the planning do not care about the green area surrounding the village. So it will be captured and become to the new urban area, and there's no green space for the village. So that's what I mean when I put the name pressure. It's like pressure is like it show the meaning of the village, traditional village have no choice to maintain and to preserve its own element of the village.
Okay. And yeah, another question is coming from Ibu Ria again. It's about the gentrification issue. And she asks you about is there any trait of gentrification of the local citizen of the village, and how the people in Vietnam manage that? Or maybe you as academicians can suggest how actually in the future for the village to manage the gentrifications.
Gentrification, what is it?
Trait of the gentrification. So the gentrification can be dance is coming with the same style from the urbans, and here in Indonesia maybe we can find the gentrification is coming to the most of the rural area with the sub houses, with the block styles houses, we call it rumah toko, and everywhere will be scattered along this area. And sure, this will change about the facade, and then change about the land use also. Is it happens in the your area in Hanoi?
Actually, can you explain again? I do not capture the idea about the gentrification.
Okay, probably Ibu Ria, are you still there? Probably you can explain more.
Yes. Sorry, I'm at the cafe. Hi, Nam. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you about the issue of gentrification, especially to the local people, the origin people that living there, that later came, the government or somebody built a new high-rise building or for the new housing, then coming people from the urban area to the rural area. So is there any impact to the local people? Is there they should move to another place because the land probably getting the land price will getting high, the tax land will getting high because of the new building coming, and the location is become a very developed area. So gentrification usually impact the local people there, the origin people there. Is there any? Is there happening in the location? So is there any impact to the origin people? Where there is there any regulation that still protect these indigenous people, or they should move to another region or another place, or is there that kind of
Understand.
issues? Yeah.
Understand. That very great question, and thank you for your question. It's happened for so various and many villages in Hanoi, and some of the social problem raised during this period, during this urban development, as I see, because the rapid of the new urban area is affect to the village and villager a lot. When the people live in the village, some of the village is just have a livelihood that's close to the agricultural land, and when they lost their land, they also lost their livelihood. And the investor and the developer, real estate developer, they pay a lot of money to the farmer to capture the land. And when the local people, when the villager, I mean the original people who get a lot of money, they do not know what to do with so much money, and they do not have any idea to change from the farmer to another job. So it's raised a lot of social problem, like they use money for other thing, and for some year they lost all of the money, and they have no job to do nothing. And so because Hanoi have, I think, 20 years to experience the booming of urbanization, of rapid urbanization, and we have to face with so many social problems during these times for the village. But nowadays, I think it's better. It's better nowadays in comparison to 2000. Because all the new urban area is have the very quick rapid change for the urban area, and the villager and original people, they do not have the, how to say, do not have the any preparation to change their job. And if they do not have livelihood, they also lost their land and lost their livelihood, and affect a lot of the culture and the way they live in the village. Okay.
Yeah. So this is impact a lot, for the local indigenous, for the gentrification coming to this area.
Yes.
Yep, we jump to the another questions from that question, I think, from Pak Andarto Marjuni. Bapak, apakah berkeinginan untuk menyampaikan sesuatu? Because Pak Andarto Marjuni here is also try to do the mapping each of the names village in Hanoi. Silakan Pak Andarto. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good day, sir. Dao Hai Nam.
Yes.
This is not a question, but a statement. I like
Yes.
Vietnam development. if a question, I hope you can. The role of government is very high. Is supporting heritage, traditional development, and tourism attraction, such as Kuang Pu Chau, increase a village, Batang, pottery making village, and many other. What do you opinion think about that? But I like the Kuang Pu Chau is very colorful. I like traditional economic development and support of the role of government is very high about the traditional economic development.
Okay, you mentioned about the pottery village, right?
Kuang Pu Chau.
Quang Phu Chau. I sorry, I do not know. Maybe by pronoun, huh? Cannot recognize the village. Quang
Yeah.
Phu Chau.
So yeah, here
Maybe the village near Hanoi.
Near Hanoi, huh?
Yeah.
Is it a pottery village?
No, not about pottery. It's I don't know. Like flower and other. I don't know about that.
I see.
Mungkin
I
maybe,
see.
Yes.
It's located in next to the river, right?
Yes.
Close to the river. Like flower
Like
village.
a flower.
Like flower village.
Batrang pottery make the village. Batrang.
Bachang, yes. Bachang.
Yes.
Have you been there?
This economic traditional.
Yes.
Yes. This the role of government is very high to make a traditional economic for development. This is unique. It's unique.
Yes. And yes.
And I like that for heritage and other. I like that.
Yes. Thank you. Bachang is a very special example of the village in Hanoi, and Bachang is successful and nowadays become the very big hub of culture, not only relate to the craft village. It attract a lot of tourists because of the handicraft. But nowadays there are so many artists to come to Bachang to develop the creative art space in Bachang village, and it attract a lot of activity that relate to the creative activity. I think that's very good in Bachang village nowadays. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
thank
also
you.
have the very good project for Bachang village. This is just one of the information I would like to show, that we would like to create the open museum for creative activity in Bachang village. That's close to the it's one of the interesting activity that's close to the handicraft, traditional handicraft of Bachang village.
I see. So it's a living museum, yeah?
Yeah, living museum. Because the land in Bachang village is very nice. It have the very long history, and when you go to the land that connect to the so many interesting area, like the public house or the Ding public building, and some manufactural activity along the lane that create the traditional atmosphere and attract a lot of tourists.
Okay. Jadi Pak Andarto udah pernah ke Bacang sebelumnya?
No, Google information.
Yeah, I
Never
hope
been in Bachang, huh?
No,
not yet.
maybe someday. I hope so.
Sure, next
You
year ya,
should,
Pak.
and we design a very big building in Bachang. It's a museum in Bachang. It's look very good. And
Wow.
if you go, I will take you there.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
thank you
much.
for advising the issue, Pak Andarto. Yes. Okay,
Hmm.
coming with the new question from Ibu Anita. He's a lecturer of Universitas Sebelas Maret from Department of Architecture. Ibu Anita, are you still there? Would you like to say by yourself? So yeah, have a please, Bu Anita. Are you still there? Or okay, I will read for you, Ajahn. From
Okay.
Ibu Anita. In your opinion, in general, what is the characteristic need to be considered in developing traditional village on the suburb of a city in Southeast Asia?
In Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
I think each country have its own context, and some of the country have the very good conservation for the traditional village. And like I said, in Kampung, in Thailand, we go to the Lom Khao, like Dr. Ruli used to go with me to Lom Khao, and we discover a lot of traditional village in Lom Khao. And when some of the some of the new development like 7-Eleven, when they open the shop, they also have to follow the regulation of the color when they build the shop in the heritage area, right? But in Vietnam, I think that we still have to face with a lot of issue from the urbanization, because the benefit from the real estate market still very high, and it's attack and it affect to the conservation of traditional village a lot. But in the future, I think that people will care much than much more than in the past for the traditional village. And I hope that the government is also give the regulation to preserve not only the important building, but also the structure and the element that can create the atmosphere and the environment of the traditional building in Hanoi and in Vietnam.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you very much. So I think I'm agree with you, yeah, with this idea. Coming with
Yeah.
the last questions from Ibu Pratiwi, Ibu Tiwi, are you still there? Would you like to say something by yourself? Ibu Tiwi, silahkan. Okay, still on mute, Ibu Tiwi.
Thank you, Bu Ruli. Thank you, Ajahn Nam. Happy to see you here.
Thank you. Nice to
Thank
see
you for
you.
your material. It's so interesting, and it's triggered us to know more about the suburban in Hanoi. I think so. And if we some people mentioned about the government role, and here I would like to know about the role of young people, in particular in preserving local culture or traditions in the suburb area in Hanoi. I think so. So it's especially about the young people. That's all, Ajahn Nam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Actually, we haven't got any study about the young people who concern in the preservation or conservation of the village in Hanoi. But I think that in nowadays we try to give the lecture in university for the new generation to raise the awareness about the value from valuable thing or valuable village in the past that show who is important village that create the atmosphere of the Hanoi Old Quarter. So if they know well about the connection between the villages to the Hanoi Old Quarter, to some important area in Hanoi, they can learn a lot from them. Or the next generation, maybe I'm not sure, because we do not have any study about how to make the next or younger people to involve to the uh, village preservation in this area, in this aspect.
Okay. Is
Okay.
it good for you, Bu Tiwi?
Right. Thank you. I think you have the same problem here. Thank you,
Anyway,
Agent.
Yes, yes.
we can learn each others, yeah. That's
Yeah,
why
we
this
should learn. Yeah, we should learn each other.
learning each other. Yeah, okay. I think that's all. Because this time is up. It's already 2:30. So then all the question already answered by the speakers. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
a time to
Thank
finish.
you. Thank you.
Come in, Achan Nam, for
Thank
joining
you. Thank
today.
you.
Sure, we will welcome you next year's Universitas Sebelas Maret Department of Architecture will
Yes.
organize the international workshop on Asian heritage. We will invite 5 universities from Southeast Asia, and one of them is Hue from Vietnam.
Yes.
Coming to Solo, and
Thank
yeah, sure,
you.
we open also for others participants from
Thank
Indonesia.
you.
So
Thank you.
I would like to highlight to make a short conclusion from our discussions. First, we can try to do the collaborations and learn each other, because the problem of rural or suburban area is become the important issue in the Southeast Asia. We are not just thinking about urban area only, but it is happen in suburban and rural area is part of our responsible as an academicians and professional to keep the identity. Therefore, with these forums, we can learn each other. And the other things, how we push also going to the government is also important, and also need to encourage the community from the young people until in the every level of the society to be aware that this identity need to keep for the future generation. Therefore, that I can conclude for today's discussions, and I give it back to the MC, the master ceremony, because after this we will have a family pictures ya. Silakan Mbak Iva, saya kembalikan lagi. Terima kasih buat para peserta yang sudah berada di sini. I put it back to Mbak Iva. Are you there?
Okay, thank you so much for Mr. Nam and
Thank you.
Ibu Ruli. After this, yes, after this we will have some closing remark from Ibu Ria. Ibu Ria.
Yes, thank you, Via. Thank you so much, Mr. Nam, for your sharing today on the Obrolan Heritage or Heritage Talk 86. It was an honor for us to have you today sharing the knowledge on case in the Vietnam. So actually it's happened everywhere in Southeast Asia, especially with the area suburb or village or rural that impact by the new development, or sometimes it's become a strategic area to become a tourism area. So somehow it's also changing the landscape and the social life. Thank you, Bu Kusumaningdyah, for your moderating this heritage talk. On behalf of PDA and EAI and also Trisakti, that we are joined together to share knowledge and spreading to our colleagues, especially in the term of heritage. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please, Mbak Fia, to close this talk, so we can take a picture together. Please open.
Wait.
The participant can open.
Yeah,
So,
before we close the meeting, we have something to share first.
Okay.
Okay, so PDA, you can visit PDA in social media, Instagram and Facebook, and we also have store in Tokopedia, PDA Indonesia. There are some, and for these two books, you can order via Instagram direct message. Okay, so that's all, and please open your camera so we can take a picture. Okay, there will be 7 slides. So please get ready. First slide first. Yeah, ini ya. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. Next. 1, 2, 3. Third slide. 1, 2, 3. Belum. Smile. Yeah. And the next slide.
Mbak Fia, you are on mute.
Okay, 6 slides and the last slide. Okay, thank you so much.
okay, thank you
for your participation. Okay. And
thank you so much
see you later. Yes.
Thank you so much for giving me the chance to share our study. Thank you for listening.
See you again in Indonesia.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much. Bye bye.
Bye,
See you in
Thank you.
Indonesia.
Jinli.
Thank you.